When you see a drone buzzing around overhead, you probably think, cool toy, right? Or maybe you're thinking about future package deliveries. But the reality is we've seen a single drone shut down a major airport for hours. And that's just scratching the surface of what's possible. Because that little buzzing machine isn't just a toy, it's a complex, hackable system with some pretty major national security implications. So let's get into it. Just look at this number for a second. 2.4 million. Now, this isn't some random figure I pulled out of a hat. This is the number of small, commercial, and recreational drones that the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, expects will be crowding our skies in just a few years. The sheer scale of that is, well, it's pretty staggering. And that incredible scale brings us right to our first section, the drone explosion. We're going to talk about how this technology went from being a niche gadget for hobbyists to, well, a massive national concern that has a lot of very smart people working overtime. So here's the thing you have to understand. This isn't some slow, gradual increase. The FAA's own research is showing this incredibly rapid, almost explosive growth. I mean, we are talking about more than doubling the entire fleet in just a handful of years. It's kind of like going from dial-up internet to fiber optic broadband in the blink of an eye. And that exponential growth is exactly why getting a handle on the security risks isn't just an interesting thought exercise. It's become incredibly urgent. Okay. So, to really wrap our heads around these risks, we've got to stop thinking of a drone as just the thing that flies. It's actually a whole system. So for our next section, let's break down what that really means. And this image right here shows you exactly what I mean. What we call a drone is actually an unmanned aircraft system, or UAS. And as you can see, it's really a system of 5 interconnected parts. You got the drone hardware itself and its software brain telling it what to do. Then you got the ground control station, that's the pilot's remote. Connecting them is this invisible network link. And then often there's a cloud server where all the flight data gets stored. So let's be super clear here. If you're an attacker, you're not just looking at one target. You've got a whole menu to choose from. You can go after the physical hardware. You can attack its software. You can try to hack the pilot's controller. You can mess with that network signal, or you can even try to break into the cloud data. Every single one of these is a potential doorway in. So now that we know all the pieces of the puzzle, let's start peeling back the layers and see where the weak spots are. This is where things get really, really interesting. All right, let's kick things off with a classic attack on the drone's hardware. It's called GPS spoofing. Just imagine for a second that you could trick a drone into thinking it's hovering safely over an empty field when in reality it's flying directly at a skyscraper. All an attacker has to do is broadcast a fake GPS signal that's stronger than the real one. The drone's receiver latches onto it, and just like that, the pilot has no idea where their drone really is. But, GPS spoofing is really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the hardware. As you can see here, attackers can jam the signals, just cutting the pilot off completely. If they can get their hands on the drone, they can physically tamper with it, basically turning it into their own flying Trojan horse. Or, and this is a big one, they can compromise parts in the supply chain, building a backdoor in before the drone is even put together. And it's definitely not just the hardware. The software is a huge target. On the drone itself, hackers can inject their own malicious code, maybe turning it into a zombie they control, or even just run an attack that drains the battery, causing it to literally fall out of the sky. But check out the right side of the screen. The pilot's remote, the ground control station, is just as vulnerable. An attacker could take it over, steal sensitive data from it, or even just trick the pilot into making a huge mistake. Okay, so we've got a vulnerable drone and a potentially vulnerable pilot. But what about that invisible connection between them? The thing that's actually holding this whole system together while it's in the air? Well, that network signal is often the weakest link in the entire chain. Think about it. It's just flying through the open air. It can be jammed, which severs the connection and sends the drone flying blind. Or even worse, it can be hijacked. An attacker can basically put themselves in the middle, intercepting the pilot's commands and sending their own instead. And at that point, it's not your drone anymore. It's theirs. All of this technical stuff might sound a little abstract, but believe me, the real-world stakes are incredibly high. So let's talk about what's actually at risk when one of these systems gets compromised. So let's forget about hobbyists for a second. Drones are now critical tools for our infrastructure. Emergency services use them to get a bird's-eye view in a crisis. But what happens if a hacked drone feeds them bad information? Drones inspect our vital oil and gas pipelines. What if a compromised drone is told to ignore a critical leak? They're used in search and rescue missions. A hijacked drone could lead rescuers in the complete opposite direction. This goes way beyond privacy. This is a direct threat to public safety. And all of this leads us to the biggest challenge of them all. How on earth do we secure our skies when we have millions of these potentially vulnerable devices needing to share the very same airspace as our commercial airplanes? So let's think through a drone's entire mission. You've got the planning stage before you take off, you've got the actual flight, and then you have the analysis after it lands. But out of all those phases, when is the moment of maximum danger? When is a catastrophic attack most likely to happen? Well, this table from the FAA's analysis gives us a pretty clear answer. The risk level is rated as high during the launch, flight, and landing phases. This is the moment the drone is actually up in the air, a moving object in the national airspace system. It's when attacks like GPS spoofing or network jamming can have the most devastating results, because frankly, there's just no time to recover. So really, the main takeaway is this. We're not just trying to secure one drone at a time. The real challenge, the monumental task, is building a security framework that can manage the safety of millions of them, all operating in the same sky as the planes you and I fly on every day. It's a huge undertaking, and honestly, the clock is ticking. And that leaves us with one last critical question to think about. We know this explosion in drone use is already happening. It's not a question of if, it's happening now. So how do we build the digital safety cage for all of them before this massive new fleet truly takes to the skies? How do we make sure that all this incredible innovation doesn't come at the cost of our security? The answer to that is going to define the future of our skies.